Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Okay, let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start. And I informed Vanessa, like as you guys say, you already have finished HDS, but I guess it's not updated in the academic calendar. So maybe there is a confusion or something. So
Yeah, I believe, sir, the teaching us had left at some point after, and it had yet to be updated. So we had intimated. Sorry, I don't recall their name. To update
Bhaskar.
Bhaskar, I think so, Bhaskar, sir, to update it in the on Moodle, but I don't think it was done.
Okay, because I am not aware of, so I got this thing. So Venus, as whatever document you have, as per that, you guys, I think this thing never happened for you guys. That's why
Okay.
they rescheduled it. So I already informed him. So he's checking it. So once everything like is clear and sorted, we can like maybe then we can start HDS or something else.
All right.
Okay. Just give me a second. Can you tell me what you did in HDS? What model?
We had made this. It was a stylized
Hammer.
hammer that was designed like a sort of beer barrel.
Okay, that barrel thing, and it's a hammer, like basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay. Now that's the usual stuff usually we do. Okay, got the idea. Okay, create something else. Not this one. Okay, anyways, like this first day, so I'll give you a basic introduction of like interface and everything, and then select a reference, and then we'll start creating that thing. So like as you like half of you have kind of like you have already did this. So if you want, you can exit the meeting. So that's absolutely fine. I already informed Vanessa, so we'll I guess you have to reschedule everything and plan it like create a separate module something.
All right, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Okay. So this is let's start. So from this module or just for this module, we'll be using ZBrush. So ZBrush is basically a like software tool where we create high poly models, and it's a depends upon your system configuration. You can like use millions of polygons to create each and every detail on the model. And this is the basic idea, like why we do it. So in gaming, 99% time we create a model low poly model, and all the details we create in a high poly model, and we transfer all the maps, like we generate maps from high poly to low poly and create all details. So I'll show you a couple of files. So then I'll give you the introduction, like how this thing work and all. You see. C drive, no. D.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Wait. Sir, I've left from the files, so I have done something.
What?
I have done something, I left from the files.
Okay, you've done something and you uploaded the file.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, like, by Wednesday you can submit all the files. If you want you want to submit before that, you can submit that, and make sure finish everything. No incomplete files.
Sir, I'm stuck on something.
Sir, there was some doubt in the files.
So that, yes, that is something we can discuss on Saturday, doubt clearing session. Okay, so during, because now from today we are starting high detail sculpting. It's a different module altogether. So in this module we'll be using only and only ZBrush, nothing else. So any doubts you have, any problem you have from previous module or anything, try to finish all your model. It's wrong or right, whatever, finish it. On Saturday doubt clearing session we'll discuss everything. Okay, and send me the files.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So I have already sent.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, it's almost completed.
I'll check that. I'll check that, and I'll revert back in the mail only. Okay. Okay. So I'll show. So like ZBrush is basically meant for creating high poly models. It's not for low poly models, but you can do a lot of stuff. If you see ArtStation nowadays, 99% characters or everything, your low poly model or like your hard surface stuff, everything have a high poly. The reason behind it, because in game, when you bake something from, you can see, it's a model, nice detailed model. It's a Blender model. Okay, it's something else. So you create something like this. This is all done in ZBrush. So all these lines, detail, design, everything you see, everything is polygons, everything is geometry. So we create everything in geometry, and then we bake it and convert all the high poly detail, whatever you're creating here, all the detail into a low poly, and transfer it from high poly to low poly with the help of a support of a normal map. We generate all the maps and then create this thing. So if we show you a couple of, you can see this is all textured, right? You can see it's a low poly model with all textures. But if you see the high poly, in high poly also you have all the details, everything, all design, everything you create high poly. Nice full detailed high poly. So whenever you have a very good quality high poly, your texturing becomes super easy, and plus the when you render it out, it looks amazing because it gets all the depth, volume, everything. Because it's not faking it, it's generating with the help of high poly. We create all the detail and it generate with the help of that map. So I'll show you a couple of files I have. Let's see. Yeah, no layer, brush base. Let's see. I'll explain the interface and all everything. Don't worry. So you can see this. This is a small flask, leather flask. So this entire model is created within ZBrush. All leather. You can see all those minute details, all grains, everything, plus the stitches, this design pattern. You can see this wooden, this cork, all details, everything we generate in this software. And you can see it's 11.22 million polygons here. So Maya, Max, Blender I guess can handle, but Maya, Max can, most of the 3D software, they cannot handle this many polygons. So we create a high poly model, and then we transfer all the detail and then create a low poly model and texture it and bake everything. I guess I have a marmoset file also. I'll show you the output, like what we do with this. It's loading. Oh, it's a baking. It's a baking file. I don't want it. See this one, I believe. Okay, it's a baked version.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have doubt, sir.
Doubt regarding what?
Yeah.
We haven't started anything.
ZBrush.
We haven't started anything. What doubt do you have?
Like in the, is there a texture applied on a ZBrush?
Is there what?
Texture, like
Is there texture like can you texture it in ZBrush? Yes, of course
Yeah.
you can do it, but that is not. We can definitely do it. We'll cover all those things in the module. I'll explain. That is what I'm explaining. Explaining what we'll cover in the module. What is the function? What we'll do. Today is the first class, so I'll explain all of this. Okay. So, okay, this is the file. Just give me a second. Focus. Yeah. So you can see ZBrush, this file. So you can see here, everything is created on this high poly model. So if I press Shift F like this, I'll explain all this thing. You can see it's really dense geometry. It's around 8 million, just this part. So it's really dense geometry. Everything you see, everything is a polygon. There is no texture, there is no nothing. It's all geometry. So this kind of geometry Max cannot handle. Max cannot handle like a couple of millions polygon. It cannot. This ZBrush is meant for create high poly models. So we create high poly models, high detailed sculpting, everything. We generate all the details. And if I go back to this file, if I select this, you can see if I show you the wireframe of the file. There is no, there was a wireframe option. There is no wireframe. It's correct only. They moved it, like there's a option for wireframe. Now they moved that option from where to somewhere. Okay, just give me a second. I'll open Maya. Where is the file? So in this model, you can see this is a low poly model. I cannot see that wireframe option is not visible. That's very strange. Polygon subdivision. No reduction. Why it's not visible? Ah, from here I can switch it on, but there is an option you can see. Not so. So you can see where if you see the wireframe, it's really low poly model. I guess Maya is opening. I'll show it in Maya. Oh, this is again a baking file, not the correct one. Yeah. So here you see this model. You can see it's a really low poly model, and it have only few 100,000 polygons. Poly count. So you can see it have 1735 polygon in total, this entire model. But in ZBrush, you see it's 11.22 million polygons. So what we do is we basically use this model, for high poly, and we transfer all the information you see here, all design, pattern, all stitching, everything. We transfer this as a map, as a normal map, and we generate texture. So when we render it out, it will give you an illusion of high poly. So if you check this, you can see all details of leather, all the design, all the stitching, all these details are already there. It's all there, and it's a super low poly model. You can see this is just a cylindrical tube. This is just a spherical like this shape, and it's a coat. That's it. Nothing fancy, very simple model, nothing very complicated. And then we used baking and then texture it and could do this thing. So in future, most of the modules we will be creating high poly for wherever it's required. We'll create a high poly and bake everything and generate all these detail. So in this, so we create all this thing in ZBrush with full detail. It can be a prop, it can be a character, it can be a piece of cloth, it can be anything. Depends like what we are trying to create. So I'll show you a couple of references, couple of things where we have created all these details. And I'll show you this modified. I'll open some files, I'll show you. So here you can see it's a WIP still. WIP means work in progress. So it's a WIP file where you can see this entire thing created in ZBrush. If I want to create the model in Maya, it will be Maya or Max. It will only have the silhouette, just the basic structure, and we model it and we bake everything and generate all the details on that model. You can do that. So but ZBrush we can create entire character in ZBrush, entire props, entire scene in ZBrush itself. It is very easily we can do it. So I'll show you a couple of models, like more models, so you can get a better understand like what we can do using ZBrush and what is the purpose of using ZBrush. Because in game, like in production, in gaming, most of the things you see it's just an illusion. It's all those parts, all those details are not there in the model. So here, just give me a second, I'll just unhide all. So here you see, you can see this character, all the skin information, your eyebrows, details, the jewelry, everything, it's all in ZBrush in model. You can see it's 52 millions. But if you see the then after this we create a low poly model and transfer all the maps and generate all this detail in texturing. So ZBrush is basically create a high poly, like whatever our final output we are thinking or we have a reference, we generate or create all those detail on that model, and then we'll add details and then we bake it and transfer all the detail from high poly to low poly. That is the sole purpose of high poly. Once you bake your high poly, then after that high poly is not required. Then your final low poly, whatever you're creating in Max, that is your final file. This is just to support your file and create the supporting maps and generate high quality texture, because texturing is one of the most important. Like suppose in 3D, 50% important is your modeling and 50% is your texturing. If you have a very good quality model but the texture is very bad, it will look bad. But if you have very bad quality model, texturing is very good quality, it will look bad again. So both the things are equally important. So texturing also has to be really good, and plus your modeling also needs to be very good. So we can create all these things in ZBrush very easily. I have mostly like characters, like, because I worked on character most of the time, but we can create a lot of hard surface model, other stuff as well. I guess I have some references. Just give me a second. I'll check it. And this, not there. So we create all these details, all this thing using ZBrush. I'll show you a couple of references from ArtStation so that you'll get a better idea, like this one. Then I'll show you other stuff also. All these things you see, most of the things are done in ZBrush. These are ZBrush model. Okay, I believe for this also, somewhere I have a ZBrush model. Not sure. And these are for, you can see, actual games.
So is it your account, sir?
Hi, this is my account.
Okay.
I'll show you some nice, maybe this one have, this is also. So you can see there's no limit. There's like so many models and so many things are there. So the whole idea, let's see. So this is the we saw already. This is also same thing. You can see textured, high poly, textured, high poly. So all these things only texture. This is not model. It's just a cylinder. This is just a cylinder, and all these are texture, like high poly, and we transfer this thing and generate all those things very easy, nicely. So similarly, let's see, you can see the colored character, this thing. This is again a high poly, a poly painted. This is not texturing, this is poly paint. So poly paint is basically each and every polygon can store color information that is in ZBrush. So we paint this thing and create all this detail on our surface, and it's a grayscale model and painted like this. It's all high poly. You can see all details and everything is there nicely. You can see this is also high poly. All details you can see here. All these things are possible. You can create hair, you can create this eyes, color, everything in ZBrush. This is again a ZBrush model. See ZBrush Maya Keyshot. So you can create this kind of stuff very easily. It's just matter of practice, because ZBrush is little different from all other software. It's unique. It's in its nature, and its interface is different. Its functionality is different. So it's a unique software, and it needs a lot of practice. If you don't practice it properly, you will never able to handle it, because it takes hours of practice and to perfect it. Because for this ZBrush, we are not going to use mouse 90% of the time. We're going to use tablet all the time, to sculpt, to create a model, to texture it, to color it, to render it, for everything. You can see, so this fine details, cracks, everything is sculpted. So we sculpt everything like this in really great detail, and then we texture it. So high poly is a very important part of gaming. If your model have a very good quality high poly, you can create an amazing quality texture, amazing quality output. If it doesn't have it, it will lack that polishing thing, that detail level. So that's why we do it. And in industry, the entire pipeline, how it works, there are two set of pipelines. In one pipeline, what we do is we create a low poly model, base model, then we export that model to ZBrush as a obj, and then we sculpt on that, create all the detail, then we bring it back to your native software or Substance Painter or any other third-party software. We bake and transfer all the information from high poly to low poly, and then generate it. Just give me a second, I'll close the door. It's too much noise. Okay, so here I will show you a couple of references. So you can see the amount of detail, the amount of detailing, and this is all polygons, all geometry. So suppose you want to create this in Max, this is not possible. Technically, it's not possible, because Max cannot handle millions of polygons. And this kind of fine details, if you want to create manually, it will be a like a nightmare. You won't be able to do it. So that's why we create this. There was a high poly. No, there isn't a high poly. Just give me a second. No high poly. So this is also, you can see, it's a high poly model. You see this grayscale, wherever you see this thing, understand this is a ZBrush model. So we create all these things, something like this. You can see we can do it in ZBrush. It's not rendered in ZBrush, because ZBrush cannot produce this kind of render, but we can use a third-party software like Keyshot or something, V-Ray or something else, and render it out like this. That is something is completely possible. You can see all the details. It's all geometry. It's not your basic model. You can see all the angles or all the dent, everything is part of model. You see, it's a high poly sculpting. This is what we're going to learn in this module. We'll create a high poly high detail model, and understand the functionality, because that is what it's most important thing. You need to understand like why we are doing it, and what is the purpose behind it, and what we'll achieve with this. You can see this is a high poly model, and this is a low poly model. ZBrush Sculpt, your wireframe of low poly model. You can see this is like few thousand polygons only, and this is millions of polygons. Everything is sculpted. This looks pretty nice. Okay, let's keep it. So this is the game. Okay, not needed. I guess this don't have a high poly here. This is also, you can see it's a high poly model. This is done in ZBrush only, using ZBrush. Stylized, it can be stylized, it can be realistic, can be anything. We can create this thing very easily. It's just matter of practice. This is also same thing, ZBrush, and you can see it's Naughty Dog, and it's from Uncharted game you must have heard of. So from that game, you create this kind of detail, all those things, create a high poly. You can see in high poly, you have all the information, all the details, everything, and then you generate that. Similarly, high poly model, create this thing very nicely, high poly model, all the detail, everything in, it's all model, this is all model. So this works entirely differently. We do not create everything from one part, one model, one box. No, we take whatever we want and sculpt it. Sculpting, it's almost similar to clay modeling. If you have seen clay modeling, so you can see they take a lump of clay, and then they add clay and remove clay and generate that shape. Just give me a second. I couldn't- Okay, so we generate all these details. Similarly, you can see all details, and there are a lot of techniques in ZBrush. A lot of techniques are there. I'll explain most of the things as much as possible. So we'll what we plan is, idea is, we'll create one prop, some small hard surface prop, and create that. We'll generate all the details in ZBrush. We'll polypaint it within ZBrush and generate everything. So let's see. So all these things also have high poly. There is no high poly. You can see even the cloth, belt, and everything have a high poly. All you can see, stitching, design, pattern, holes, everything is in high poly. So this is something like a really amazing software. It have a tremendous potential. There is no limit what you can do with this software. It's just all about practice. If you practice, you can excel this software. And this is like one of the key things in industry. If you are a very good sculptor, your value increases very easily. So make sure practice this thing. Whatever we'll do, will create everything nicely. You can see like this kind of structure creating in ZBrush is very easy, but your Max Maya 3D softwares cannot handle it. You cannot create all this thing in 3D softwares. This is a simple model. This you can see. You can create this thing very easily. And you can see this is textured, right? So for to create this is from Blizzard. Blizzard, I guess you might have heard of it. Anyone you heard?
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sorry,
so this is from Blizzard. So you can see that process. You can see this is a textured one element, just a one element. They created a high poly model for that. This is your texture, this is your high poly model. They create this thing and then they texture this entire thing. See, it's just a plane, just a flat plane, and all the detail generated with the help of your high poly. So if you don't have high poly, painting something like this will be a nightmare. So you can see it can be done very easily. You create a very good quality high poly and then bake everything and generate it and create all the details. Similarly, you can see sculpted. And this ZBrush software, if you like, suppose you want to go to toy making or 3D printing, ZBrush will be is your friend. And you create anything, you can print it directly very easily in 3D. You see, this is 3D print, I believe. I'm not sure, but yeah. So you can do it. You can see even a character, this kind of zombies, cloth, tear, and all these things you can sculpt. You can see this is normal one pillar. All this detail you create on the on a high poly model. If I show you the low poly, so you can see all these things are there. If you go to geometry, you can see it's pretty low poly. Only the silhouette is only the silhouette is created. Rest everything is coming from your high poly. You can zoom in, you can see all this detail, all this roundness. This is the angular. But if you get rid of that thing, texture, it looks perfectly round. This thing, yeah. So this is what we do. We create nice, amazing, detailed things. So I'll show you a couple of more models. So you'll get to know like what to do, what not to do. Where is my references? Just give me a second. Organic. This is something recently, like we started doing it, creating. This is some other reference. We started this thing. Now it's a full character, but in ZBrush. Then we have, you can see it's all created within ZBrush. With the I took a sphere and then sculpted the entire thing. It's a 3D model. You can rotate and check from all the sides, and you can see all the color and information you see here. It's all poly painted. And ZBrush refs. Just give me a second. I'll show you on character. So okay, it's a project I accidentally installed. Okay, loading. You can see this character. This is like from an old batch. I created this character. So there's a different version of this is there. Just give me a second. This is the base model I created, and after that I posed it. I'll show you the posed model. And this is, you can see 23 millions. This is 27 millions. I have a couple of things I have added here. I switch on everything, so you can see, and it's a pretty heavy geometry. You can see moving becomes, it's 27 millions. Moving is become a little laggy. So you can create this entire thing, this model, and there's no limit like what you can create.
Sir, this is one you created, sir?
Yes, all this is my work only. So if you see amount of detail, so you create, there's no limit, like whatever you can imagine, you can create that. It's all about that. So you can create nice, high detailed things very easily. So I have one more folder. So here you can see, you can even the weaving of the cloth, that is also you can do it. All these folds, crease, everything you can do it in ZBrush. All this design, everything you can do it ZBrush. And plus, if you want to render out your character, you can create hair and fur also within ZBrush. Those things are also there.
Or even cloth also.
What?
Even cloth also we can do in ZBrush.
Everything you can do it in ZBrush. But that's not, ZBrush is not your game ready model. It's only high poly model for baking purpose. That's the sole purpose of ZBrush. If I switch on, okay, see, yes, not this one, I believe this one. So sole purpose of ZBrush, you can see all jewelry, hair, and everything. You can do it within ZBrush. You can create everything, skin detail, your pores, information, everything you can do it in ZBrush. I have most of the characters because I like was a character artist, so I used to work on characters most of the time. That's why I have mostly characters only. But ZBrush is meant for anything. You can do it, create anything, any kind of thing. You can see this. It's a inorganic, an organic mix. It's a part of hard surface, part of organic structure. You can create it. It's very easily. You can create, it's a character, it's from God of War, not finished, it's a WIP. So you can create everything, or it can be a stylized stuff also, something like this. So there is no limit, like whatever you can imagine, you can do. It's like a empty canvas, and then you can just draw whatever you want to draw, whatever you want to create, you can do it very easily. Okay, so I'll show you a lot of references. So I'll give you the basic idea of the interface. So I'll just simply initialize it, resetting the entire software. So ZBrush, it's a paid software. So any of you have it, or you don't know how to download or something?
Yes, sir, I have it.
Okay, so if you have it, or you can download it from internet, it's fine. If you having any difficulty, get back to me. I'll just send you the link, send you some link. You can download it from there. So whenever you open a ZBrush, by default, this is your window where you sculpt everything. This one. But if you open and click on this, see, it creates some weird kind of thing, and you cannot rotate anything here. It's a 2D. It's a 2D screen as of now. So unless you make it a 3D, it will be a 2D, because there are ZBrush have a 2D implementation as well. Like you create 2.5D, must have heard of, maybe you heard of 2.5D models, 2.5D render and all this thing. So they basically take the scene and create create an illustration or something and render it out. So it's basically a 3D, but a 2D version of that. So by default, it works like this, and you can see it's very different. It's not 3D, so you cannot move anything, rotate anything, you cannot do anything. So what you have to do is Control N, new. So by default, it will open like this, new. So when you're going to start with any of the model, you need to import a base first. You need to have a base. So click, you can see these are tools. This is, you can see tool, this is tool tab. And this tab is here also, here. If we open this window will go. So you can see this is a tool. You can pin anything. If you want to remove it, you can click on this, it will remove. If you want to add another tool, you can do that as well. So by default, when you open this thing, it looks like this. Load tool, anything you have previously created from with ZBrush, you can load that tool from here. ZBrush have two saving format. Usually we save it in ZBrush tools, or we can save ZBrush project. So this is tools, projects are from document. So that document stores all the history of that particular file, and tool doesn't save any of the history. It just saves the 3D file. There is no history, nothing. And in project, you have the history, but project file will be size will be bigger, and tool size will be low. So there will be cases you have to use tool, because otherwise file size will increase to 5 GB, 10 GB. So it will be super difficult for you to handle. So tools, most of the time will use this. And import copy tool, can copy any tool. Import means import OBJ or FBX from Max or Maya or any 3D software. You have exported any file, you want to import that. This import means import that external 3D file. After that, you have this Lightbox. Lightbox is basically all the presets available in ZBrush. all the presets, tools, your brush, your alpha, your texture, everything, whatever is available in ZBrush. That's your light box. Same thing here. Then you have this few preset tools. If you click on this, it will open a new window, and you can see it just go from here, it will vanish. So you have to come like this. If you go outside this box, it will go. So come here, now you can see we have so basic sphere, cube, cylinder, cone, all those shapes of things are there. 2.5D brushes also there. If you want to use 2.5D, that is something in game, we never use it. So usually whenever we want to create something, we start from a sphere or a cube or a cylinder. We use that and generate our shape, basic shape, or sculpt on it. So suppose I want to start something, and there's a Z sphere is to create any model. So I can do this, or I can just use any of the sphere and start constructing my model. So if I click on the sphere, still you can see in my window, nothing is there, nothing popped up, nothing happened. What you have to do is click left mouse button and drag without releasing your left mouse. Leave it. So once you leave it, you can see this edit is activated. Previously it wasn't, it was deactivated. So to go to 3D mode, you have to click edit. So the moment you see this gray outline and plus this gizmo, that means it's a 3D. Now it's a 3D. If I switch it off, you can see switch back to 2.5D, right? So don't switch. So 3D, now I can click left mouse and rotate it in any direction. And if I want to go back to my idle pose, front, again, go back to front. To zoom in, zoom out, or alt, right click, alt right click, you can move the 3D saw tool, pan, basically you can pan that tool. And to zoom in, zoom out, control and alt, zoom in, zoom out, right click, not left click. Keep that thing in mind. To zoom in, zoom out, you have to press control and alt and right click, zoom in, zoom out. To pan, only alt, right click, pan. Or that is something, this is something you can do it with the help of all these options. You can see, move the entire canvas, zoom in, zoom out the canvas, actual size, click on this, half size. Then you have perspective mode, orthographic mode. If you want to see the flow, like where is the grid point, grid, if you want, you can switch out and you can see there is a grid. Perspective you can switch on, you can see the grid. If you want to switch off, switch on. This is local symmetry. I'll explain this next thing later, because this is something to do with the soft tools. Like when you have a tool and you want a local symmetry, by default symmetry will be center, right? So, but I have, suppose this particular tool or object is off center. In that case, the symmetry won't work properly. I have to switch on local symmetry. Like local symmetry means that particular object symmetry. It nothing to do with your entire scene. Then you can lock camera, you can frame. Frame means focus to that particular selected tool. Then you can move, see, pan, zoom in, zoom out. Then you rotate. You can do this, or you can just simply rotate it here. Only left mouse button you can rotate. Like this, you can rotate. So by default, this is like your tool. You can take any of the tool. So by default, whenever you pick any tool from the ZBrush library, it's a like a vector shape. Like you can modify this thing, but this is not it. You cannot subdivide this. You cannot do anything with this. You have to convert this into Polymesh 3D. You have to convert this into a Polymesh 3D. It's just a node. It's just a display. You can see it. You cannot do anything with this. You have to click on this option, Polymesh 3D and Polymesh 3D, and convert this into 3D tool, and then start sculpting on it. So I'll just show you. You click on this. The moment you click, you can see all this window popped up. So I can, once you make it Polymesh 3D, you cannot go back. There is no undo. You cannot undo it, but all other step you can undo this thing. Now, Under this, you can see you have tons of option. Like once you convert this into Polymesh 3D, you have tons of option. Subtool, like this is a one tool. Each and every layer is basically one tool. If I create one more this thing, suppose I append. Append means anything append into the same scene. So it will come as a separate tool, separate layer. I can move it like this, but you can, whatever layer is selected, you can work on that layer only. You cannot work on both the layers simultaneously. Either you have to switch between this and this. And you can see the color, you can understand, like it's brighter. That means it's selected. If it's not, it's dark in color, it's not selected. And then there are tons of options. So all these options I'll explain one by one. We start working on it. So I'll explain those things. So let's start with a few basic things. I deleted that. Switch off this grid also. Now, this is the right side. Now, left side, what we have. Left side, this is your brush, like all the available brush in ZBrush. Click on this. You'll see tons of brush you have. This is the default viewport where you see most of the brushes, most of the regularly used brushes. It doesn't show anything. Like there are a lot of unique brushes are there. We don't use it regularly, so it's not visible here. If you know the name of the brush, you can go to A, B, C, D. C, press B. B have only one brush. C have a lot of brush. D have a lot of brush. E only one brush. F also have few brushes. Like this, you can switch between layers and check all the brushes like this. So you check all the brushes and select those brushes. So by default, this is standard brushes selected. So and standard, this is the brush. So standard brush, what it does is, if you click and drag, so you can create this volume. You can see the preview, it create this volume. So you can create whatever design you want to create. You can create those design easily. You can create anything you want. It will add, if you click, it will add. If you press Alt, it will minus the volume. Like this, I can generate any shape on this particular geometry. Then we have strokes. These are basically how this brush stroke. This I selected the brush. Now how this brush stroke works. You can see I have dots. Basically, it create like whenever I drag this brush on the surface, it basically is a sequence of dots. Then we have, you can see drag rectangle. You have freehand, spray, color spray, drag, all these things. So I'll show. If you click on this drag and click, you can see you can drag a circle here and add the volume, or you can select an alpha from here, any design. Let's see, for instance, I'll choose this. I can drag that. I can make it small. I can make it big. It's totally up to me how to create. I'll generate all this thing. This is the purpose of drag. This is something when we want to create some design, some detail, that is something manually creating is difficult. We use alphas. Alphas are basically black and white map. All the black part is not visible, only white part is visible. So whatever is a black and white, you can apply that thing. I will drag and generate those detail. Freehand is basically a freehand brush where there's no gap between the dots. Like all the dots are like it's a line basically, like how we draw with pen pencil. It just works like that. Then we have spray color. It basically, it's just dots. Okay, I'll just subdivide a couple of times so that you can see it clearly. So it basically, what it does is all those gray, small, lighter dots, you can see those have less intensity. All these bigger dots have more intensity. So if I click this, you can see it will create all those information. See this wobbly effect. So it will be created random noise, random detail on the surface, because it's like some dots are prominent, some dots are not prominent. So that's why it's creating this kind of wobbly effect and all this noise and surface detail it generates. Then you have only spray. It's kind of same, but it's uniform. It's uniform, like all the dots are same intensity. It's a uniform effect. Then you have dot. It basically, by till the time you release the mouse or your pen tablet, that dot, wherever you generate, you can remove and place it wherever you want to place. So once you leave it, it's part of that section, like this, like this. So I can create like this. I can drag that dot and create this design. So most of the time we'll be using freehand stroke only. Now, after this, you have alpha. Alpha is basically any shape you want to create on the surface. It's that. So it is basically a black and white map. So you can import it from Photoshop also. You can just use some image also. Everything is fine. It works with them very easily. Now you can see if I drag freehand, it works like this. If I use drag rectangle, see, it gives me, because I have increased the poly count, so it's giving me very nice clean design very easily. So I'm dragging this thing and generating all this detail. So alpha is for dragging, or maybe I can use for brush, I can use for dot. Like suppose I want to use dot, so I want to create this particular thing. See, I can generate, I can dots, I can drag it. See, I'll create one and then drag it. So based on the alpha, it will generate that thing. I can switch it off and go back to my freehand. Then comes texture. Suppose I want to create a texture in ZBrush and everything, I can do that also. So this is part of texturing, but this texturing, keep this thing in mind. ZBrush texturing is not acceptable in industry. It's not texturing, it just to make you feel nice about the model, just to color it and it looks nice. That just to present your high poly nicely. It's all about that, nothing to do with your games, because this is just for the high poly look nice. It should look nice, that's it. So we don't use this texture, we don't use it. It's absolutely no. But yes, we can use this as a base, and then top of that we can build our texturing. Then we have this material, like different materials. Each and every material have a different like effect. By default, this matte cap is selected. It looks like this. You can change to any of these things. So every material have their own properties. You can choose any one. You can choose and create all this thing very easily. So there, but in material also you have two types of material. One is matte cap, one is standard. Matte caps are basically presets of the all the where you can see poly skin. It looks like a skin, but you cannot modify them. If you paint it or apply them, you cannot modify them. But if you want to modify, you want to apply a material, but you want to change the color or modify it into, then you have to use the standard material. So 99% time we'll be using a standard material only and create all the details. Then we have our color. Color comes when you want to paint something on ZBrush, and paint doesn't mean texture. Paint can be some shape, paint can be some design, and paint can be a mask. Paint can be a lot of things. So it's not, yes, it can be texture as well, but it's not only for texture, it's for all other things, for design, for pattern, for other stuffs. And these two gradient, like Photoshop, you have a black and white selection. If you press X, nothing happens. If you press C, so with that, it changes basically. You can change that. And this is something, if you want, you can switch like this also. Whichever this color is selected, it will show that color only. But this is the only basic tools. But still, we have the top, we have a lot of options here. So to edit any 3D model, you have to click on edit. Otherwise, you won't be able to edit it. Draw is basically what mode you are working. Like right now I'm in draw mode, so I'm drawing shapes. So right now my symmetry is on. I pressed X. X basically X symmetry. So symmetry I can on or off. I can do those things and generate whatever I want to generate. Create those things. Then we have move. If I click move, I can move the model wherever I want to move. Then I have scale. It works on scale only. If I am in edit mode in draw, if I switch into this option, same option W, and this gizmo have, you can see scale option also, move option also, and rotate option also. The gizmo have all the options, so you can use this to, it works exactly like in Max, the way you use gizmo, same thing. Here you can modify, rotate things and change all the shapes. Then this option is basically view, show gizmo and don't show gizmo. Switch on, switch off. This one option is Sculptress Pro. It basically make triangulate your entire model, and based on your mesh design, it triangulates everything, and it uniformly triangulates the entire model and add triangles or reduce triangle wherever it's required. Automatic, it's all automated. Then I'll go to draw again. So now after this, you can see A, MRGB, RGB, M. MRGB means material RGB. This is for coloring. Let's select this. I'll select this color and material. I take this skin. So I'll paint something. You can see I can change the shape and paint it also at the same time. Then if I change the material back to my default, you can see it didn't change anything. That's weird. One sec. Skin shader. I'll switch off my depth. I just you see now it's working. So I can paint the color directly on this. Then I switch off the material. So you can see it painted those things directly on the geometry based on the topology. It's all mesh painting. So I can paint it if I want. Now it's painting, change the material. So it's painting the material plus color. So every material have their effect. So that's why the color, same color is selected, but it looks entirely different. So I can paint it like this. Then we have only RGB. RGB means only color, no material. So if I change this, it will change the color only. No, it won't change the material. If I change the material now to something else, see, this color will be there. I can paint it everywhere, but nothing to do with the material. Then we have only material. M means material. So I can paint only material here. So if I change it again back to this, you can see 3 different materials. This one is different, this one is different, this one is different. So I can paint different materials also. Now, after that, we have Z add, Z sub. Z is Z basically, Z brush, that's why you say it. So Z add means anything you want to add, like addition of the clay. Add clay minus clay. So addition or subtraction. What you want to do, based on that, we can create this thing, add or subtract. Intensity, this is intensity of the brush. I can increase it, make it really strong. I can decrease it, make it really light. See, you can't even see like anything happening there. Very little deformation. So I can change it like this, intensity of the brush. It works like Photoshop brush only. If you have practiced your Photoshop things nicely, you can do it very easily. That's why we did Photoshop and all those things, like why we did all this thing, because it plays a very important role. If you practice those things properly, you should be able to control your brush here very nicely without any problem. So like this, you have this focal shift and all. Focal shift is basically, if you see this brush is here, you can see two circles. Outside one is brighter red, inside one is darker red. So if this is that focal shift is basically the outside, you can change the, you can see focal shift will change, increase, decrease. So intensity, this outer circle is basically fall off of that particular brush. If I make it really big, see, it will become super smooth and only dots, because fall off is so big. If I reduce the fall off, see, it works entirely differently. Then we have draw size. It basically means brush size. Increase the brush size, decrease the brush size. And this shows you active points, 5,20,194 polygons. And this is like only one subtool here, that is showing the total number of this thing. So in ZBrush, we create everything in a multiple subtool and generate everything one by one and create this thing. So what you do, guys, you all download ZBrush, install ZBrush, and just open and check all these options, and then all these things one by one we start working on our file. I'll explain one by one, because there's a lot of stuff there, and because they everything, if I try to explain at once, it won't be enough, and we won't be able to remember anything also. So I'll explain while going, and I'll explain all those things that is required for a game artist, not for just there's a lot of stuff is there that is not required for game artists. So those things we won't touch, like rigging and all these things are there, that those things are not part of our thing. So we'll do all modeling and texturing part. We cover all those things and create something really nice. So idea is, initially I'll show you something very basic for the first week. I'll just to get the hold of the software. So I'll explain those tools and some brushes and some tools. Explain, you do those things, and after that we'll start off with our actual model, what we're planning to create. Most probably I have what I'm thinking, we can do something like this. This looks pretty nice. Or there's I selected one more thing. Just give me a second.
Sir, how can we download the ZBrush, sir?
What?
So like, how can we download the ZBrush?
Torrent.
Or torrent?
Yeah, because
Like,
ZBrush is a paid, so they don't have any student version, they don't have any free version. ZBrush is only and only paid.
do you have torrent link also or something?
Okay, if you need, I'll definitely share it.
Because when I search, there is nothing.
Okay, I'll share it, no problem. So I'll share it, and let's see.
Sir, I have already worked some file. I sent it on your mail. Can you see this work?
Okay, I'll check it because I have another class. I already passed 10 minutes, so I'll check that, and tomorrow we can discuss that. Okay, so no problem. Most probably we'll create something like this, some armor, some weapon or some armor kind of thing, so that we will be able to complete and able to understand everything, all the tools and everything. Okay, just give me a second. I'll just simply mark the attendance, then we'll start. Oh, HDS is not there. Okay, I have to ask for it. Okay, just give me a second. I'll take a screenshot. Okay, we'll just here take a screenshot. Okay, done. Okay, then I'll see you guys tomorrow and install it. I'll send the mail where you can find the ZBrush software, and then we'll start working on it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Okay, sir.
Okay, then I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye. Welcome.